Welcome to Dweller of the Dark.
We are wicked wizards demanding the resurrection of the yellowed and blackened bones of forgotten masters of horror, science fiction, fantasy, and beyond. Subscribe, comment, like, or I'll send the vampire Helen to rip your heart out. Writers, poets, songwriters, reach out to us if you want to be part of our growing pile of bones. Writing, ghostwriting services on Upwork and Fiverr. We've had a 98% successful completion rate for projects. Contact links below. Children of Horror, Legion of Ghouls. We proudly present Julian Machen's The Spider. Devilishly devoted to horror and Christmas, may souls always meet.
Snows fell heavy the night I climbed to my doom. How was I to know Christmas cave would be my tomb? I climbed into the Christmas cave, but no Santa, no presents, no sleigh did I find. Wrapped in web I dangle as a stocking. I sway as an ornament in a Christmas tree. 8 legs lurking in the shadows approaching me. 8 legs crawling above my head, scaring me. Creeping, crawling Christmas spider near the golden Christmas fire. Wondrous gift I brought you today. Present is in your stocking to stay. Present is in your stocking to stay. I feel the hot breath, death breath drawing near. Spider mandibles caress and click by my ear. Cold chills run up my spine of immeasurable fear. Icicles of dread bring a shiver. Pulse pounding, I quiver. Hot spider ooze drips across my terrified face. Stinging, fangs deeply, my heart burns apace. Creeping, crawling Christmas spider near the golden Christmas fire. What a wondrous gift I brought you today. What present is in your stocking to stay? What present is in your stocking to stay? Warned I was, don't go in the Christmas cave. Fool I am, I went anyway, foolish knave. Now my eyes are gallows sunk, my skin's grave leather, my brain swirls venom stay. I still dangle a Christmas ghost moon, Christmas spider waiting to feast on you now. Forever I dangle on this spider's Christmas tree, a virginate ornament for all eternity. Creeping, crawling Christmas spider near the golden Christmas fire. What wondrous gift I brought you today. What present is in your stocking to stay? Creeping, crawling Christmas spider near the golden Christmas fire. What wondrous gift I brought you today. What present is in your stocking to stay? Present is in your stocking to stay.
The Spider by Julian Machen.
Anansi, poem. Spider, spider, creepy, crawling through the night. What wicked, tangled web you weave when you practice to deceive. In what darkened cave or labyrinth like terrifying form lies, watching, waiting, lurking, with fangs to suck the light from thine eyes. In what ghostly strand did you devilishly descend? With talon grasp did you clasp to kill, to feed, then ascend? What diabolically dark conjure created the covering of your heart? And when thy heart droned its horrid beat, dreadful the riding of its legs and the gnashing of its teeth. Is that the roar of thunder in your dark home? Is that the chill of death on drops of glistening rain? Or was it the blast of fire in my fevered brain? Wert thou gifted with the spider's bite? Lo, terrifying visions or nightmare, dread horrors haunt the night. See above, lightning spins its own web in the storm, and heaven's deluge leaves little room to warm. Created in pride, did you praise this creature of trickery and deceit? Did you, who made the fly and birthed the butterfly, cherish in this feat? Spider, spider, creeping, crawling through the night. What wicked tangled web you weave when you practice to deceive. Julian Machen. Red thunder roars on the mountains of Yankari. Red thunder hammers these ancient hills as I move in haste. Brilliant flashes of lightning blind me as I fall into a pool of frigid water. Death winds brought by the storm rattle the jungle canopy above as I lift out of the mud, then fall once again. This time I smash my bitten shoulder against a stump. More web-like arcs of lightning flash to illuminate my path. I sojourn on through the night. I move sluggishly as in a dream. I move cautiously as in a nightmare. My mind is in hallucinatory visions of bliss, contrasted with panicked carnal rage. These visions, these nightmares, these hallucinations, all brought on by a spider's bite. Yet, they will say I am lucky. A fortunate man I will be to have escaped the spider. She, this legendary monstrous female, is never a forgiving goddess. Few escape the Yankari, spider woman, goddess of Anansi. It is she who sunk the fangs deeply into my flesh. Aji forced all of us to go. Oh, my friend Ajibola, what horrors you have seen. But you were the lucky one. It was only a scratch you received. I laugh and talk to the forest. My voice is a slurping, croaking, dead man's laugh. My words slur with sheets of greenish saliva falling from my mouth. Maniacally, as my brain ferments in my skull, I laugh and rant. Ha ha ha! A scratch from her fangs drove you insane. You tried to cut your... I can't finish the words. I decided to pursue this beast. I made the fatal decision. My obstinate drive to explore, to come here to Bauchi State, was fired by my insatiable curiosity. Always my obsession with the spider god legends drove my peculiar interest. How could anyone worship such a hideous thing? Why were the spider legends everywhere in this region and other parts of the world? What was so majestic, so awe-inspiring of a thing that lurked and hunted in the shadows? I had to know the answers. Aji shared my madness too. He was my guide and friend who allowed me to see the ancient scrolls. Aji showed me the statues and temples. Aji hiked with me for 12 days to the cave. Aji rope climbed with all of us into the descent of that infernal pit. Ajibola rotted away in front of us from that scratch. Dear God, what will happen to me? I received the spider's full bite. We explored the Anansi Spider Woman's cave. Unnerving tragedy from unimaginable horror befell my team. Devilish demands I made to explore it. Satan himself drumming and whispering in my ear. Delve ever deeper, my friend. The goddess of Anansi will greet you with open arms. Learn her knowledge in that abysmal well. Know her deepest secrets. Taste her fatal kiss. Flashing lights all around me. Or is it the lightning? I am not sure. Head might be clearing from the fog caused by the poison. I have been saved. The authorities have arrived. While being treated, I am questioned. I say, gentlemen, questioning me is a waste of time, a fool's errand. An officer starts. Why do you say that, sir? Where is Ajibola? Where are the members of your team? Spider poisoning brings maniacal thoughts. Maniacally I scream. Lock me up forever. Do what you will. I am a dead man. The authorities are whispering. They conclude I suffered a mental break. Will they come back? I don't care. By that time, I will be a pile of stench, a writhing, putrid ooze of worms, like Aji. But for now, I am still alive, still cognizant. I will say nothing to save everyone. I implore, I plead, everything that I can remember, I have told you honestly. I have concealed nothing. I have not distorted anything I have told you. If I remain vague on the facts or location, it is because my mind is clouded. Yes, red thunder roars to cloud and confuse my mind. Deceit is a necessity. Secretly, I see beyond my confused thoughts. Reaching into the subconsciousness, I recollect the nebulous, surreal horrors that crawled up ageless caverns and crevasses into our mortal lives. Someone pulls me from the jungle to a hospital gurney. I plead. Haji was scratched by her. That is all I know. I ran like everyone else. What happened to Ajibola? I do not know. But I pray his death was peaceful oblivion. Why do you say that? A police detective introduces himself as Charles Alantakun. He is skeptical of my innocence. Is he dead? Thomas Machen, are you saying Dr. Ajibola is dead? Insanely, I state. Death he courted. Death was his friend. Death stopped the poisoned hell. Death stopped the agony of dissolution, dissolved into ammoniac and sulfurous ooze. Ambulance sirens? Red lights? Or the red thunder of those accursed mountains? No, it is the ambulance siren and red lights. Officers question me. Medical teams treat me. I hear their mumbled voices. One officer named Ahmed Gizo sounds far away. I listened intensely to his words, but his words are muffles through a thin wall, humming music through a blanket. Witnesses from the Warinji mountain saw you with a group of 10 people. You oversaw this expedition. No one in the Warinji village heard of the cave you spoke of. No one will speak of her cave. That's the point, officer. I interject. Gizo's partner, the shrewd man named Charles Alantakun, interrupts. A cave for a goddess? How original. A feared goddess? But you will not give us the location. Where's the cave? You state this is your fault, and to punish you, you don't talk like an innocent man, Oga. I respond. Witnesses, one of them, Aranea Balawa, was quite detailed. Alantakun emphasized. Mrs. Balawa said you had a fight with Bola. What was the fight? Safety? I continued. Appearances are deceiving. Our argument was over ropes for the descent into the cave. Aji liked fighting. Mrs. Balawa said you went south of Warinji Mountain toward the south of Josh Plateau Range. Is the spider cave there? Officer Gizo asked. I could not say anything. My tongue was dissolving. It had the texture of peanut butter now. To my horror, my tongue was cemented to the roof of my mouth. I willed and prayed my tongue would release. It released by my sheer will. I felt wrenching, burning pain as it peeled from my palate. I half expected my tongue to fall out when I opened my mouth. I will affirm, gentlemen, All my actions and directions cause tragedy. I continued. You found me in the thunderstorm. Atlanticun interrupted. I found you, dazed and wandering near the edge of the jungle, ranting about spiders. What happened? Where's the cave? There may be more survivors. I plead. I cannot. I'll put you in danger. Enraged, Charles Atlanticun pulls me from the cocoon of my bed. He pulls me to within inches of his face. Heat and spittle from his mouth cover my face. The scent of rotted meat emanates from his breath. Atlanticun screams, Machen, tell us now everything you know. Let me judge the dangers. You share my madness, don't you, sir? I exasperatedly exclaimed. Men of our nature will always search for answers to the unknowable, no matter the cost. Give us full account, sir, Officer Gizo whispered as the voice of reason. My colleague is a man not to be denied truth. I relent. Here's the truth you desperately seek. You will beg to not have known. Atlanticun released his grip, and I fell back into the bed. Then he did a peculiar thing. He put my blanket back on me and smoothed out the wrinkles. Then said, The story, Oga. Sighing, I began. The weird studies of Ajib Bola were known to me, spider legends. Ajib and I shared this obsession of spiders. We dove into peculiar tales from arachnid antiquity, vast collections of strange, rare books on forbidden spider tales, scrolls, parchments, etc. Many books in languages only artificial intelligence could decipher. The research became dangerously overwhelming. I voiced concerns. I was ridiculed by Bola and the team for such statements. Atlanticun interrupts. In retaliation, you killed them? Insulting you caused their deaths? Defensively, I say, I did not, sir. I tried to stop them. Lord, I still hear the screams. I remember Aji's mad rant of immortality theory as he died. Useless theories for a man being dissolved into putrefaction, piece by piece. I remember him saying, how does a spider become a god? Why do they worship her? Why do the Warinji and Yankari mummies not rot as other corpses? They never decay. I pity the fool now. All are dead or worse, waiting to die. Indescribable terror for them, each patiently and meticulously being devoured a piece at a time for an eternity, all the while oblivious to their demise. Yes, I truly am frightened for all of them. We fatally made the decision to explore at night, roping down, descending into the spider's lair. In our descent, I looked skyward to silver, vaporous heavens, pleading for our return. To me, their pleas fell on deaf ears. Our cave was an ancient cemetery with an aperture 60 feet wide and 8 or more feet in height. The depth to descend and reached the cave floor upon inspection was at least 100 feet. The winding and twisting cavern itself was imposing and black as pitch, but seemed similar in dimensions. 70 arduous and perilous feet down, we noticed the first billowing, ghostly strands. Strands of spun web floated ethereally in the slight breeze of the cavern. Silvery, white silk reflecting its creator to be no less in size than 20 to 30 feet. We all were aghast with our further discoveries in the web strands. Hundreds of bodies lay weaved in the web. These were wrapped bodies of all manner of creatures. Each mummy was weaved, and many still alive, in cocoons. It was unnerving to hear the whining of a horse entangled in web, or hear the blood-curdling screech of an owl trying to free itself from the web. A final mummy foreboded our future. It was a child mummy, gasping, shrieking, that expired before our very eyes. The warning to all was noted: stay clear of the webs. I shined the light toward the bottom of the 100-foot cave. I saw reflected piles of white, gray, and yellow bones. These purveyors of the dead were indeed ancient, manifold signs of terror unleashed. I gasped thinking of these horrific feedings, creatures kept alive and ingested for immemorial years. This spider's tomb was deep, damp, and overgrown with fungi of all sorts. Mosses covered curious, creeping things below. A vague stench, the stench I smell even now as I die, caught my interest. I associated such stench with an unearthed grave or decomposed body rotting on the sea. Roping down further, we touched our feet to the damp bottom. I felt we were the first living creatures in centuries to intrude on the silence of this spider's crypt. A spider sepulcher of centuries excavated by real science. Rolling fog rose around the decay and the dead on the cavern floor, choking vapors that seemed to emanate from long, dark, unexplored cave tunnels. In my mind, they were breathing catacombs where a beast or host of beasts might lurk, shifting and wavering beams of flashlights painted grim, opaque images. We await you here in the dark. Stay a while, I could hear those tunnels say. The place was earthly, damp, and unrelentingly cold. Terrible were my thoughts in this place of aged dead. Impression or aversion to the reality that I resided with IG and my team in this hideous haunt. An absolute, stunning amazement, we found an ancient temple. It was no more than 30 feet from where we had roped down. We unfastened and put our packs down. Additional lights and radios had been brought should we make a find. And here before us, we had. We drifted through the archaic columns and tarns to some former rituals. Skeletons and dust covered a marble mosaic of a giant spider. At each of the arms was an immense granite table, sacrificial tables. We recoiled and slowly stepped back, realizing the last victims still lay on the granite. A charnel scene would not describe it loathsomely enough. We found an onyx door at the rear of the temple. I thought then, what could possibly be on the other side of such a huge door? Aji had to open it, of course. Centuries-old stone slid. We viewed a black aperture and several emerald gems sparkling by our flashlights. Brimstone and bile-wrenching odors seeped from the room. Effluences of miasmal gases so nauseous made many of us vomit. The stench made me swoon a few times to the point I wanted to run back to the ropes and out of this cave. Hours passed as the stench subsided. I noted the walls as we moved further into the room. Dripping, detestable ichor oozed from them on both sides. The ceiling and the walls were moist and encrusted with glowing worms and niter. I flashed the lights further up and around the walls, noting webs of various shapes and patterns in this room. I can't continue, I told Ajibola. I must leave this charnel place. He nodded, and we agreed I could turn back alone. I left them. I walked away without protest. I had done all I could. In growing dread, I made my ascent to the ropes. I heard the rhythmic plod of my boots echoing down ancient corridors. Each step forward in the darkness heightened my awareness of being followed. Each look to the right of me, to the left of me, and most certainly behind me grew my agitation and paranoia of being watched. While reaching the point to rope out of this pit of hell, I heard the blood-curdling screams and shrieks back in the direction of the temple. Panic terror seized me in its jaws. I could not go back to help them. My cowardice would not let me. I ran as if my life depended on it. I climbed the ropes, feeling the brush of spider webbing on my skin. I cannot convey the terror making that climb. Looking right, then looking left, and then down, praying that the spider was not beneath me. The last grab of rope and pulling myself over and up, I was drenched in terror-filled sweat. I just knew the beast would grab and pull me down, back into that darkness. The spider goddess would weave me into her web, and I would wait my turn to slowly die. What about Ajibola? You said you had witnessed him getting a spider scratch. How was it possible to see him attacked? But at the same time, you had left when your friends were attacked. Officer Alanticum had figured out my secret. They weren't letting this go. I was silent for a moment. Both men watched me carefully. What did I have to fear? I was not going to be alive much longer anyway. I told them the brutal truth. I did not witness the scratch to Aji. Bola had radioed that he was attacked after I was out of the cave. After I had cut all their ropes to prevent the spiders from escaping, murdering them
What a selfless sacrifice. Well, we got our answer.
Atlanticum was being sarcastic. Continuing, I said, no way in hell I was going back down in that cave. I'm not ashamed of my behavior. I am a coward and alive. I figured they made their choices when no one came with me. I remembered again what I heard after I was out of the cave. In the lone silence of that mountain range, I listened to their screams. What monstrosities my mind conceived! The ghastliest crawling and creeping phantasms and illusions occupied my thoughts. I knew what the greenish gems were in an instant. Eyes! The grotesque shrine to that arachnid housed not one, but legions of them. The temple of Anansi's spider goddess itself assumed a diabolical sentience. Amorphous spider shadows lurked in the dark recesses of every canyon and crag. In fevered anxiety, I strained my ears to listen for any possibility that the spider was rising to come for me. IG had radioed in a voice frenzied. Trying to get to the rope, my friend. Monstrous herds dropping from everywhere. I remembered for a moment. I pushed back the cowardice. Suspending my terror, I answered the radio. Is there another way out? You still have the map of the cave system. I lost it. Raji Bola's final words. Officer Gizo Gizo and Officer Atlanticum studied me, saying nothing. I lay in my silken bed awaiting replies. Still no response upon my prompting. The silence between us was deafening. Well, what are you waiting for? Are there no more questions? I asked both men as they faded out. Red thunder erupted again around me. Arcs of web-like lightning flashed above me. I felt cool rain on my head, chilling my fermented brain. More rain falls down, covering me in my bed of silken weave. Now I know what I should have known all along. A terrifying awakening has been born on the death winds. Lurking darkness lumbers through night mist of this cave. Aware now, I can feel, I can hear, I can see the shadows creeping and crawling in the lair of Anansi's spider goddess. Spiders are creeping and crawling on my coffin, this cocoon. I am a corpse who cannot move. I am a feast who cannot be freed. I cannot swat a fly. I cannot scratch an itch. Paralyzed by spider venom, I am kept in a suspended state of immortality, nourished by the creatures who nourish on me, eternally eaten by the spiders. Death, release, is not my fate yet. Not until this trickster, this Anansi spider goddess, decides I have earned my death. For each plea of mercy, I am denied. For each tear I cry, I hear her laughter. For the spider goddess of Anansi, her decree is always the same.